We've got some stem winders coming up. This Good Friday in Dearborn, Michigan, home to an enormous Muslim population and the largest mosque in this country. Terry Jones, the pastor of this pathetic little Dove World Outreach Church in Gainesville, Florida, with almost no remaining members, will carry his campaign against radical Islam right into the teeth of the Muslim faith in Dearborn, Michigan. On Good Friday, he wants to protest the rise of Sharia law and protest the scourge of radical Islam. As a free American, as an American, he is completely constitutionally within his rights to do this. Up in Dearborn, Michigan, knowing how Muslims have reacted to Terry Jones around the world, when he burned a Koran, when he threatened to burn Korans, riots, death, all kinds of insanity, all kinds of violence. They're very, very concerned. So they're really in a situation where they're trying to balance one man's constitutional freedoms that we all cherish. There's no America without a First Amendment right to free expression, with the public's right to be safe. But I come down on the side of Terry Jones. I don't like this guy. I think he's a publicity hound. I think a Christian preacher ought to be with the flock on Good Friday, lifting up the name of Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, not up there protesting against Islam and Sharia law, okay? But he has the right to do it. And you can't shut him down just because you think something might happen. You can't do that. You can only deal with it if something violent does happen. And that's why I'm more than a little bit concerned about these court actions they're trying to take to stifle Terry Jones, or to flat out make it illegal for him to protest at the biggest mosque in America on this Good Friday. I got to come down on the side of a guy I fundamentally don't like and respect, and that's Terry Jones on this one. Do I have it right? 407-916-5400. Toll free, 1-866-916-5400. You understand the issues here? How should this ultimately come down in your view? A Detroit prosecutor, and Detroit is right next door to Dearborn on this, and this mosque is right on the border between the two. A Detroit prosecutor has filed a petition in district court to stop Terry Jones from holding that rally outside the mosque. And that ruling's coming down tomorrow. If the Constitution is still intact, that ruling goes Terry Jones's way. Here's David in Altamont Springs. Good morning, David.
Yeah, good morning, Bud. The first thing I thought of when I heard you bring that up about the $100,000 fee and having to do it in some nondescript corner of town, immediately my mind flashed to Wisconsin and having all these union thug teachers overrunning the State House, disrupting business, and causing $7 million, whatever it was, in damage. They didn't pay no $100,000 fee. I bet they didn't even pay a $1 fee. And although we're dealing with Wisconsin and Michigan here, that has nothing to do with it because it's the Constitution and federal. And I'm wondering, does Dearborn ask every protester to pay a $100,000 fee? I don't see how that possibly can fly.
Well, they're saying the $100,000 in this case would be for security, police overtime, etc. And not every protester, of course, would require the kind of security measures that would be needed with Terry Jones, given the reaction that he engenders among some Muslims.
Yeah, but still even that, although maybe that's reality, but still even that seems to be inherently wrong.
It is inherently wrong. They are literally trying to price him out of being able to exercise his constitutional rights.
Well, exactly. I mean, one protester A and protester B, one might draw a bigger crowd, but who's going to label the, you pay $1, you pay $20,000, you pay $100,000, because we all know that is just that's like I say, it's just inherently unconstitutional what they're doing.
I totally agree, David. Scott, you're on the road joining the Budman on the Terry Jones situation. What do you think? Scott, you with me on line 4? No. Looks like he is, but by golly, he is not. Jenna, I don't know whether you're a fan of Terry Jones or not. I know you're not a fan of radical Islam. But to me, this is very clear-cut. The Constitution needs to be upheld. And I don't think there's any other way to look at it. Do you? Am I missing something here with Dearborn?
No, absolutely. Just because you don't like what he's saying doesn't mean that he shouldn't be able to say it.
And because you're anticipating violence, you can't shut somebody down. Anybody could make a ruling saying you can't have a protest because we think it's going to turn violent. And you can't have people being able to shut down a person's constitutional right just by saying and getting a court ruling, hey, we think there's going to be violence and we can't have that. This is America. You know, we permit protests. We can even burn the flag in this country, as reprehensible to me as that act is. These things are protected. It's what makes our country special. Merritt Island, Chris, good morning.
Good morning, but let me backtrack for a second. Now, if I remember right, when he first came to our attention, he was going to burn the Koran originally. They offered him an SUV or a van or something, and he went away for a while. Is that correct?
Say that again, please, Chris. I was interrupted. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, originally when he first came on the scene, when he made this sensationalism about he was going to burn the Koran because it was evil in the devil's book, they offered him a van or something for his congregation. He kind of went away for a while. Is that correct?
That's right. He got a vehicle, as I recall.
Yeah, then can he burn the...
Then he came back and burned a copy of it, and I don't know, 300 people died in Afghanistan.
Well, and you say that's a reaction to what he said.
Exactly.
Well, that was a convenient excuse for the Muslims, the radical Muslims over there, the fanatics. You know, we always judge a group by a few, and unfortunately, the only time a Muslim ever gets in the paper is if he does something that's, you know, derogatory to this country or to his fellow human being.
So sum it up here. 15 seconds on where you are on this.
Real quick, if he goes up there, I have his right to protest, but if the media doesn't cover it and nobody shows up, then he'll go away. He's like you say, he's the media hound and he's looking for publicity.
Yeah, well, believe me, the media will cover it and people will show up. But he has the right to do this, and they need not be trying to shut him down. A couple of more calls on this. If you want to stay on the line, I will take them. 407-916-5400. Then, a local story that it's going national here. Do you believe that there is an employment agency in this town that is putting red capes on jobless Central Floridians and sending them out in the street? And they're spending your money to do it. Coming up on BHL. Now, checking real-time traffic and weather together.
From the David Moss Volkswagen Lee Road Traffic Center, still in pretty good shape this morning along I-4, just starting to get heavy westbound between 434 and 436. Also starting to build up westbound along the 408 between Greenway and Goldenrod, and getting heavy approaching I-4 as well. We're in good shape in both directions of 528 and checking clear along the Turnpike. The Greenway and 429 also running up to speed this morning. If you do happen to see a problem, call our tip line at 866-676-TIPS. From the Traffic Center, I'm Courtney Bright.
From 540 WFLA, Orlando's 24-hour weather channel, we pick up right where we left off yesterday. A warm and muggy start. 93 the forecast high for today, and we can't rule out a stray late-day thunderstorm. Late-day thunderstorms again tomorrow. Weather updated around the clock on 540 WFLA. I'm David Maddox at the Weather Channel.
Good morning, I'm Michelle Morello. Coming up in your 7:30 news, 6 people arrested in a brutal killing in Marion County. A 17-year-old escaped from the Marion County jail twice in the past month, and Daytona Beach police are investigating whether a 4-year-old had something to do with his sister's death.
You know, habits are hard to break. It's easy to get in a rut no matter what we're talking about. Let me talk about luxury cars for a moment. I mean, do you just always go back to the same old brands that you've known for so many years? How would you like something exciting? How would you like to think anew? You need to get behind the wheel of an Acura at Fountain Acura. The one I'm driving right now is their top-of-the-line sedan, the incredible Acura RL. The MDX SUV seats 7 in absolute luxury. They're all high-performance cars at great prices at Fountain Acura. And now on the RL and the MDX. Financing rates as low as 0.9% on brand new ones for well-qualified buyers like you. If you're already an Acura driver, you know how amazing these vehicles are. How'd you like to upgrade the Acura you're driving now to a similar brand new Acura model with no money down and a similar monthly payment? They can make it happen at Fountain Acura. What an opportunity, what cars, what a dealership. Fountain Acura, go see. They're on South OBT, and it's just south of the Florida Mall. Online, fountainacura.com.
Traffic on air online, a service of Apex Pest Control.
So a chinch bug, a weed, and a fire ant walk into a yard. They all die. Thanks to Apex Pest Control. Keep your lawn healthy. Call Apex and get $50 off annual lawn service. Expires April 24th. Restrictions apply. Visit apexpest.com.
If you've been injured in an automobile accident, I want to remind you about Walk-In Wednesday. I'm attorney Matt England with KEL. Come in anytime today from 8 to 8 to meet with an attorney free of charge, no appointment needed. 800 New Laws, KEL. You have questions, we have answers. Hoffman, England and Lind, Office Orlando.
Mortgage rates are as low as 3%, 3.2% APR. Go to LendingTree.com today, where refinance customers save an average of $293 a month or more. Click or call 1-800-555-TREE to find out how much you can save today. That's 1-800-555-TREE.
If you run a business, you know your financial results are directly linked to the performance of your people. Hello friends, Jim Nance here. Every team wants to operate at peak performance, and now you can with the proven workforce optimization solution from Insperity. This powerful combination of HR and business solutions is the most comprehensive business performance offering in the marketplace, delivering administrative relief, better benefits, reduced liabilities, and a systematic way to improve productivity. And since your business is like no other, this solution is customized to fit your unique company needs. If you're ready to make your company run better, grow faster, and make more money, call 800-465-3800 or visit Insperity.com and meet with your Insperity Business Performance Advisor today. It's what we do. Insperity, inspiring business performance.
Hey, boss, have you seen that TV commercial with the National Alarm Company? You know, the one where the home gets broken into with the mom and daughter at home?
Oh, yeah, that guy's a creep.
Yeah. Hey, but did you notice that instead of calling the police, the alarm company calls the lady instead?
Oh, yeah. Her and her daughter could have been killed while she was talking to the operator.
Yeah, I know. Now, if they had Safe Touch, the two-way communicator would have let the operator hear what was going on, and they'd have called the police right away.
You know, I was in a fine mood until you mentioned Safe Touch.
Yeah, well, you're not going to like this, boss. The latest edition of the Crooks R Us newsletter said the average response time for Safe Touch monitoring is 14 seconds.
14? Oh, I hate Safe Touch!
That's right, our Safe Touch two-way communicator saves lives and prevents property loss every day. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, owner of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one, and I mean no one, protects your family better than Safe Touch. So call Safe Touch today. Systems and monitoring are still less than $1 a day.
Call 407-331-0335 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
At Saving Face Skincare and Massage, enjoy massages and facials at 40% off. Just $39 for a $65 value. An exceptional price for the extra pampering that Saving Face always includes with massage, facials, or nails. 407-883-5518 or savingface.biz.
Hey folks, Dave Ramsey here. At mytotalmoneymakeover.com, you can join tens of thousands of people who are winning with their money. You'll learn how to make a budget, download the Dave Ramsey Show commercial free, and so much more. Join the group today at mytotalmoneymakeover.com.
Weather on 540 WFLA is brought to you by GrandCareFlorida.com.
Straight to the phones in just a sec here, but right now, if you're having a real problem with your weight, or you know somebody close to you who's struggling with weight, needs to get it off. Maybe you do too, for your health, your livelihood, your life, and for your appearance as well. I cannot recommend highly enough the program that took 75 pounds off the Bud Man in 6 months. It is the amazing MetaFast program developed by doctors. It is so safe, so healthy, and the weight comes flying off. Recommended by more than 20,000 physicians, including mine. It is just extraordinary, and one of the real keys, in addition to the great food that you will enjoy, that I was really never hungry at all. This was so easy I couldn't believe it. You have the constant attention from your MetaFast counselor, encouraging you, holding you accountable all the way. You can't do better than this. At your local MetaFast center, I think you're going to find the answer to the weight problem. You can lose up to 2 to 5 pounds a week, up to 2 to 5 pounds a week. And if you call now, you'll receive 35 meals free with a purchase of a full program at your local MetaFast center. Follow in the footsteps of the incredible shrinking Budman. It's MetaFast. Call now. 1-888-9-METAFAST is your number. 1-888-9-MEDA. MEDIFAST. 1-888-9-METAFAST. 2 new centers in Lake Marion Winter Park for your convenience. Online, there's more. MetaFastFlorida.com.
This is Bud Henninger Live.
A reflection of our times.
Call now. 407-916-5400. Toll free. 866-916-5400.
Let's get a couple of calls in here. Folks, I want you to be quick because I got to get on to this workforce Florida story and the red capes for the unemployed. Jeff in Orlando, good morning.
But, hey, I think the mosque should put up the $100,000, seeing how they're the one who's going to incite the violence. I don't agree with the preacher, but he has a right to do it.
Yeah, apparently nobody's leaning on the mosque, in terms of coming up with any security. You wouldn't want to do that because in the name of political correctness, we can't be offending the Muslims, right? Let's go to Anthony in Orlando. What do you think, Anthony?
Hey, Bud, this Terry Jones guy is a despicable human being, but he absolutely has the right to burn the Koran in protest. If the Supreme Court's going to uphold the Westboro Baptist Church right to protest the military funerals, then Terry Jones has got the right to burn the damn Koran. That's how I feel about it.
How about the protest? I mean, you agree with me that you can't shut it down with the anticipation of violence that hasn't happened?
Absolutely, yeah. You can't shut it down with the anticipation that this is going to incite some kind of violent act. For all you know, everybody's going to be behaved up there, and there's not going to be any violence. But, I absolutely understand, and you nailed it, where the concern is that if you burn a Bible, you're not going to have a bunch of radical Christians that go out and kill people because of it. Whereas, with this incident where he previously burned the Koran, we had the increased action and violence in Afghanistan.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Anthony. We'll watch it. Court ruling on this tomorrow. Terry Jones says he'll be there on Friday outside the biggest mosque in America in Dearborn, Michigan, and we'll see what happens. 7:22, real-time traffic and weather together on the twos.
From the David Moss Volkswagen Lee Road Traffic Center, still in pretty good shape this morning along I-4, just starting to get heavy westbound between 434 and 436. Also starting to build up westbound along the 408 between Greenway and Goldenrod, and getting heavy approaching I-4 as well. We're in good shape in both directions of 528 and checking clear along the Turnpike. The Greenway and 429 also running up to speed this morning. If you do happen to see a problem, call our tip line at 866-676-TIPS. From the Traffic Center, I'm Courtney Bright.
And sunny and hot today, and humid too, with a high of 93, 71 here in Orlando. You familiar with Workforce Central Florida? Most of the country is now, because this is up on Drudge as we speak. I was going to do the story anyway. It's an amazing local story. I want you to understand what's happening here. But first of all, you need to know Workforce Central Florida is a federally funded agency that is dedicated to matching people with jobs and jobs with people. It's really important work, with 1 million Floridians still desperate for jobs here in this economy. So I'm not disparaging the main mission of Workforce Central Florida and other organizations like it in any way. Here's the problem. Workforce Central Florida has come up with something that they hope the community will all relate to, that will call attention to the plight of the jobless. It is their Capability Challenge. It is a $73,000 public relations campaign being put on by Workforce Central Florida. But the $73, they get federal funding. At least some of this is our money, our taxpayer money. This features a cartoon character named Dr. Evil Unemployment. And it also includes handing out about 6,000 red superhero capes like Superman wears to jobless Central Floridians to wear around town so everybody can see them. They're kind of heroes among us, trying to make it, trying to get back in the workforce and the payroll and support their families. Whoever thought of this, and whoever thought it was okay to blow taxpayer money on this? $73,000 on this campaign, the Capability Challenge. It's amazing. $14,000 they've spent on 6,000 Superman-type capes. $2,300 on foam cutouts of this Dr. Evil unemployment character. And part of the promotion here, and they even have a slow-motion video on this whole thing, part of this promotion involves you coming in, picking up your cape if you are unemployed, and I guess wearing it around town. I mean, how humiliating is that? How much does this marginalize the unemployed and the plight of the jobless? These are questions I have. And you also, when you come in, you get to enter for a chance to win a big prize package of all kinds of goodies, allegedly worth about $1,000. All you have to do is to not have a job and take a swing at Dr. Evil unemployment, and then put your cape on and walk around town. You know, Workforce Central Florida says they want the jobless to walk around town wearing that cape to attract attention, to connect people to the plight of the jobless in Central Florida. This is the most amazing thing, is it not? 407-916-5400. Actually, I'm thinking I might want to, given the way things are in this business, pick up one of those red capes and be preemptive. You know, because if I'm wearing the red cape, I'll be ready to go if they tell me it's time to go. But state officials are now investigating Workforce Central Florida for spending all of this money on this cockamamie capability campaign. $73,000. If you're jobless, is there anything funny about this? How would you feel about going in and going to Workforce Central Florida, enter a contest for some prize pack that you're probably not going to win, and then being fitted for a red cape and sent on your way? How in the world do supposedly intelligent people sit around and come up with this and think it's a really good thing to do, and that we, the people, the taxpayers, wouldn't have any problem with this? They function off federal funds, Workplace or Workforce Central Florida. I'm telling you, I've never heard of anything more absurd than this. Larry in Claremont, what do you think?
This is the most idiotic thing I've ever heard of.
It's right up there.
I'm unemployed. I've been that way for 6 months now. I don't know how many. I lose track of how many resumes and everything else I send out a week. And for me, they just decided I needed to be reviewed, so I didn't even get a check last week while they review for 14 days or so.
Yeah.
And now they want me to wear a cape around town while I look for a job.
Don't you find that humiliating? I don't think their intention is to mock. I mean, they're really in the business of helping the unemployed. How in the world would they think that this would set well with guys out of work like you?
Stop and think. I go walking into a place to apply and I'm wearing a red cape. I used to hire people. Somebody came in and walked in a red cape, sure, I'd entertain them, but they wouldn't make it in the stack to be hired.
So what would you tell the people at Workforce Central Florida, Larry, as a guy who's looking for a job?
Right now, the way I'm feeling this week, I'd probably tell them where they could stick their cape.
Larry, I wish you well on the job hunt. Somehow, I just flat can't imagine. I can't imagine that anybody in Larry's situation would think there were any redeeming features to this capability challenge. Oh, they've gotten publicity at Workforce Central Florida. I don't think it's the kind they anticipated. They all thought this was a really cool and novel thing to do, and that everybody would love them for it, and the jobless as well. Now they're being investigated because they forgot that we, the people, are paying the freight over there. And we want our money responsibly spent to help people down on their luck looking for the next gig, not red capes and foam cutouts of Dr. Evil unemployment. Give me a break. Up next, the Standard & Poor's downgrade of the American economy. It is a huge story, and we're going to try to make sense of it for you, for me, as I bring on an old friend of mine, Gary Kaltbaum, who is a financial analyst you see regularly on the Fox network. He's a local guy here in Orlando, and he's next on Standard & Poor's at 7:29.
Wearing glasses with Crizal lenses can make a big difference in your vision.
Neither the teeming rains of India, nor the snows of Kilimanjaro, nor the glare of the paparazzi at a Hollywood opening can keep your lenses from giving you the clearest vision possible. For no glare lenses with great water, dirt, dust, scratch, and smudge resistance, choose Crizal. Live life in the clear. That's C-R-I-Z-A-L. Crizal. Ask for them at your eye care professional.
If you're going through a divorce, you need to know your rights and options. I'm attorney Matt Inglet with KEL reminding you about Walk-In Wednesday. Come in anytime today from 8 to 8 and meet with an attorney free of charge, no appointment needed. 800 New Laws. KEL. You have questions, we have answers. Kaufman, Inglet, and Lind, Office Orlando.
At Saving Face Skincare and Massage, enjoy massages and facials at 40% off. Just $39 for a $65 value. An exceptional price for the extra pampering that Saving Face always includes with massage, facials, or nails. 407-883-5518 or savingface.biz.
Are you underwater on the loan for your home? Is your property worth significantly less today than your mortgage? Then call me, attorney Shay DuPont of Morris DuPont in Mansfield, 800-974-2712. Our firm helps homeowners just like you understand the alternatives to continue paying your upside-down mortgage. Call 800-974-2712 for a free consultation. 800-974-2712. Offices in Melbourne and Miami. Appointments taken in Orlando, Maitland, and Lake Mary. 800-974-2712.
Bud Henninger Live continues with news from the Fox Orlando News Center on 540 WFLA.
Investigators say when he got there, 6 people were waiting. They beat him, shot him a number of times. He survived that attack and tried to get away. That's when investigators said the suspects dragged him back, killed him, and set his body on fire. The arrested suspects range in age from 15 to 37 years old. Congress quickly approaching a vote on whether or not to raise the U.S. debt limit. So what exactly is at stake? Jared Halpern explains from Washington. The president is headed to Palo Alto, California for a town hall meeting on Facebook. Take a break from either friending or befriending each other to RSVP at facebook.com/White House. The president put out this formal invitation a few days ago. When Congress out on recess, the president is using the power of the bully pulpit to push his view of deficit reduction, one that calls on wealthier Americans to pay more taxes. And the president is urging supporters to get involved, saying that opponents of his plan are already hard at work. A bill that would allow nearly 1 million Floridians to carry guns in public view is headed for a showdown during the finale of the 2011 legislative session. More from Rick Flagg. Senator Greg Evers does not want to turn Florida into a Wild West, but he says some cops and deputies are picking on people with concealed carry permits. We have law enforcement that if your coat blows open, your gun becomes exposed, have gone as far as actually arresting people. Not saying they've been prosecuted, but they have been arrested, they have been harassed. So we filed a bill that says anyone with a concealed weapons permit would also be allowed to carry those guns out in the open. And there are 972,000 of those permit holders in Florida. Rick Flagg, Tallahassee. The Marion County Jail doesn't have a good track record for keeping one 17-year-old locked up for the second time in a month. 17-year-old Darnell Bagley had been able to escape from the jail last month. It took police a week to catch him. Last night he escaped again, this time from a recreation area. Now the search is on to find him. Dwight Howard scored 33 points and played every second of the Magic's 88-82 win over Atlanta Hawks. That ties up the first-round playoff series 1-1. 540 WFLA News Time 732. I'm Michelle Murillo. Get these stories and more at 530WFLA.com. Coming up, more BHL.
From the David Moss Volkswagen Lee Road Traffic Center, westbound I-4 is slowing down just west of Lake Mary Boulevard. You're also extra heavy between 434 into Maitland Boulevard. And there is a reported accident eastbound I-4 on the exit ramp to Maitland Boulevard that may slow your travels as well. Starting to get busy westbound along the 408 between Dean Road and Goldenrod, but still moving pretty well through this area. And we're on the heavy side approaching I-4. Still in good shape along 528 and problem-free in both directions of the turnpike. From the traffic center, I'm Courtney Bright.
Traffic on Air Online brought to you by Gatorland.
Hey y'all, it's Bubba. Come on out to Gatorland and see our great shows and animals.
Now's your last chance to take advantage of the $9.99 Florida Resident Special before it goes away May 1st.
For more information, call 407-855-5496 or go to Gatorland.com.
From 540 WFLA, Orlando's 24-hour weather channel, we pick up right where we left off yesterday. A warm and muggy start. 93 the forecast high for today, and we can't rule out a stray late-day thunderstorm. Late-day thunderstorms again tomorrow. Weather updated around the clock on 540 WFLA. I'm David Maddox at the Weather Channel.
It's the Bud Man.
The only practical answer to the menace of communism.
On 540 WFLA.
It's been making headlines all week. Maybe you're not quite sure what this is and what it means. You're about to find out. Standard & Poor's has downgraded the outlook for the U.S. to negative, saying it believes there's a risk policymakers may not reach agreement on how to address the country's long-term fiscal pressures. Standard & Poor's has been around since 1860. They're a U.S.-based financial services company, and they also... in addition to doing and publishing financial research and analysis on stocks and bonds, they issue credit ratings as well. And here's what they said about the U.S. government as we continue to be awash in this $14 trillion debt. Quote, because the U.S. has, relative to its AAA peers, and we have a AAA rating, which is as good as it gets, and we've had it forever. Because the U.S. has, relative to its AAA peers, what we consider to be very large budget deficits and rising government indebtedness, and the path to addressing these is not clear to us, we have revised our outlook on the long-term rating to negative from stable. That's Standard & Poor's. They have not done this since we were attacked at Pearl Harbor 70 years ago. Let's get some insight on all of this and what it means to all of us from our old friend Gary Kaltbaum out of the Orlando area here, and a guy you see on the Fox network. He is a Fox News business contributor. Gary, nice to connect with you again. Thanks for coming on.
It's an honor to be on with you, Bud.
Tell me what we need to know about what Standard & Poor's did, why they did it, and what it means.
Let me first say this. Them coming out right now and saying that we have a problem with debt is like me coming out and saying it's going to be hot in the summertime in Orlando. It is something we already know. The good news about this, hopefully, is that maybe, just maybe, the people who are just sitting on their rear ends doing nothing about it in Washington will wake up and recognize this is the most important issue of the day, that if they don't stop what they're doing, eventually the markets are going to stop them. And what I mean by that is we will see interest rates at 8, 9, 10%, even higher. We are already seeing the outcome of deficits and printing of money by seeing commodity prices soar. The average consumer is getting crushed right now because of that, as well as oil prices, and they're going to need to have to do something about it. Now, as far as lowering a credit rating, it does not mean anything in the short term.
Well, they haven't actually done it. They've just said, I think, correct me if I'm wrong on this, they now believe there's about a 30% chance or 33% chance that ultimately they will have to lower the credit rating.
Basically, they're setting the stage for the actual move if nothing changes. But basically what they did was lower their credit rating on us by making that statement. Just because they say you're still AAA, it does not mean anything to me. The bottom line is we have too much debt out there, and the dirty little secret, Bud, is the debt that is scheduled to going forward is much, much worse than we've even done. Obama set up the budgets for the next 5 years. They use these baseline spending to have deficits of $1 trillion to $1.5 trillion every year, and that's accounting for GDP growth of 3.5% or 4%. If we go into another recession, debt will doubly explode. So I think what happened here is the S&P saw his speech and saw nothing getting done. And there's one word out there right now that I think the world is harping on, and that's credibility. While other countries are actually doing something about it, the big enchilada, the USA, looks like they have nothing going for them and has a sheer lack of credibility on moving on this in any way, shape, or form. And anybody who even has an idea about cutting the spending and the debt is labeled as extreme. And I got news for you. They're the ones in the mainstream, the people that got us to $14 trillion in debt. They're the ones that are extreme and potentially can destroy our financial system.
Gary Kaltbaum is a Fox News business contributor out of Orlando. You see him on the network all the time. Gary, so they haven't actually lowered the AAA rating yet. They have done that, Standard & Poor's, for the UK and Japan, and it doesn't look like the bottom fell out over there. But you say ultimately it is already impacting us, and it is going to increase the cost of us borrowing, which makes it a lot harder to deal with the interest on this debt. what is its impact going to be on all of us who live in the U.S. of A.?
Well, it's very simple. We as consumers right now are watching several things happen at the same time. A, the major increase in debt at this point in time. That has to be paid back, Bud. I don't know when, how, but I do know by whom. It's you and I, it's corporate America, and when you take those type of trillions of dollars out of the economy to pay off the debt that the people in Washington created, that takes big numbers off of GDP. And by the way...
Yeah, but you know what? But excuse me, Gary, because we're running out of time here. Help me understand this. Earlier on, you really hit me between the eyes when you said, look for interest rates of 8 or 9 or 10% here. I mean, we've been looking at interest rates that are virtually non-existent. We're going to see this on everything from home mortgages to credit cards and goodness knows what else when we borrow money?
Oh, absolutely. You got to realize that money, that debt has lenders. Eventually, lenders are going to say, we're not buying any more of your debt anymore unless you pay us more to account for your risk. 75% of all bond buying right now is our Fed and Ben Bernanke. He's keeping interest rates down right now. If he stops doing that, I got news for you, the genie coming out of the bottle, and that's when interest rates are going to tick up in a big way. So I think everything they are doing right now is 100% the opposite of what they should be doing, and there will be heck to pay, but put my words down. Eventually the interest rates have to go up to account for all this nonsense.
What is your prediction about the future of the U.S. economy in this debt scenario?
If we don't find somebody that's serious and is able to get the job done, our dollar is going to crash, our interest rates are going to go higher, commodity prices are going to soar, and you will see economic growth at a standstill for quite a while. And by the way, this is not just me, a lot of others out there, and it really is economics 101. Debt has always caused huge problems to countries, and we refuse the 535 people and this administration are almost comatose. There's a few people like Paul Ryan that is dead serious about it. It's not enough. We need the majority and a lot more people that really are going to do something about it. And by the way, the same people who are causing this debt, when George Bush had $200 billion deficits, they were calling him the Antichrist. Now that they had the power to spend the debt, to spend all our money, it's no big deal.
Thank you, Gary. I'm out of time. Okay. Really, terrific job. You tell it like it is, and you make sense of it for all of us. Fox News business contributor from Orlando, Gary Kaltbaum. If folks want to connect to you, how do they do it?
GaryK.com. Best way you can read up everything I'm doing.
Outstanding. Thank you, my friend. We'll have you back.
Anytime. Thank you.
742 on BHL. Does that make sense? 407-916-5400. Cleared a lot of things up and really gave us a handle on what we're looking at here now. 742.
From the David Moss Volkswagen Lee Road Traffic Center, westbound I-4 is slowing down just west of Lake Mary Boulevard. You're also extra heavy between 434 into Maitland Boulevard. And there is a reported accident eastbound I-4 on the exit ramp to Maitland Boulevard that may slow your travels as well. Starting to get busy westbound along the 408 between Dean Road and Goldenrod, but still moving pretty well through this area. And we're on the heavy side approaching I-4. Still in good shape along 528 and problem-free in both directions of the turnpike. From the traffic center, I'm Courtney Bright.
From 540 WFLA, Orlando's 24-hour weather channel, we pick up right where we left off yesterday. A warm and muggy start. 93 the forecast high for today, and we can't rule out a stray late-day thunderstorm. Late-day thunderstorms again tomorrow. Weather updated around the clock on 540 WFLA. I'm David Maddox at the Weather Channel.
Good morning, I'm Michelle Morello. Coming up in your 8 o'clock news, it was a year ago today that the oil spill began in the Gulf of Mexico. So how are things now looking in the Gulf? And police in Daytona investigating whether a 4-year-old had something to do with his sister's death.
Hey, what happens when you contact Florida insurance specialists through their incredible website, challengemyrate.com? You save a lot of money. In most cases, on your homeowner's insurance, we could be talking about hundreds, well over $1,000 a year. A Kissimmee customer listening to the Budman did exactly this. Went to Florida insurance specialist website, challengemyrate.com, and in minutes, after paying nearly $2,900 a year in premiums with State Farm, which just got a 19% rate hike, were switched to prepared insurance for just over $1,100, saved about $1,700 of their own hard-earned money. What can you save? Only you can find out. Here's what you do. You go to challengemyrate.com. Do it. I think you'll be amazed. Challengemyrate.com. Or call Florida Insurance Specialist for more at 407-805-0200.
Traffic on Air Online brought to you by Subway. From April 18th to the 29th, celebrate Subway's Breakfast BOGO event. Buy any regular 6-inch sandwich and get one free between the hours of 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. No coupon required. Just a great deal from your neighborhood Subway restaurant. Subway. Eat fresh.
Hey guys, Dave Ramsey here. One question I get asked time and time again is, where do you find the mutual funds with the great returns that you always talk about? Well, first I work with my professional investment advisor, who's part of our endorsed local provider program. Second, I do my own research using an incredible software tool from Morningstar. It's their mutual fund product that's called Principia. It lists thousands of mutual funds and also charts the progress. It's the tool my team and I have used exclusively for more than 15 years. Now, this is not for everyone, and it's not cheap. But if you've paid off your debt, except for the house, and you've got your 3 to 6 months in savings, and now you're investing the way I teach, it could be a useful tool. I want to caution you again. Don't just run out and buy it before you learn more, and determine if it's the right resource for you. We've worked with the folks at Morningstar to make it available at a discounted price. To learn more, go to daveramsey.com/Morningstar.
Every time you pull up to your home, you notice it. Your neighbors probably notice it too. Your paint is chipping, peeling, fading. So, you gonna paint your home yourself? I don't think so. Gonna pay someone else every few years to paint? That makes no sense. The solution? Rhino Shield. Rhino Shield is a revolutionary permanent ceramic coating that comes with a 25-year warranty. Bottom line, with Rhino Shield, you'll never have to paint your home again. Guaranteed. It's perfect for wood, brick, stucco, vinyl, and steel. And unlike vinyl, it won't mold or mildew. Call for your free estimate. 866-902-9937. It's more affordable than you think. Call 866-902-9937.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Call Rhino Shield for your free estimate. 866-902-9937. Rhino Shield Permanent Ceramic Coating. It's more affordable than you think. Call 866-902-9937.
Workers' compensation, visit forthepeople.com. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Dave Ramsey here. If you're looking for an awesome real estate agent to buy or sell a home, my team and I can help. To find the real estate agent I recommend in your city, go to daveramsey.com and click Endorsed Local Provider. That's daveramsey.com and click Endorsed Local Provider.
WFLF Pine Hills, WTKS-FM HD2 Cocoa Beach. Fair and balanced. Fox News Radio on 540 WFLA.
Which brings us to the final round. If you are what you eat, then what am I?
Pasta puttanesca.
Correct. Mary had a little lamb. What was its name?
Lamar?
Correct.
Thank you.
What can you now watch instantly with Netflix?
Oh, unlimited TV episodes?
Correct.
Oh, I don't...
Watch unlimited episodes of your favorite TV shows and movies instantly through your game console or other devices. All for only $8 a month from Netflix. See terms of use.
Your mother always told you to say no to peer pressure. So when you hear how 4 million drivers switched to Geico last year, you aren't swayed. Then again, those 4 million drivers probably saved hundreds by switching to the nation's third largest car insurance company. Maybe your mother was wrong. Maybe you could have joined that hippie commune in Montana. Or maybe you could save money by switching to Geico today.
For a free rate quote, visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. 15 minutes could save you hundreds on car insurance.
Let's hear it. 3 cheers for fire ants. I don't hear anything. That's because fire ants are friendless heathens. They have no pals, no buds, no homies, yo. No one who comes over and says, let's go bowling. All they do is bite your butt and mock you. That's why fire ants must die. But how? With a heavy bag of chemicals? A slow-acting bait? A flamethrower?
Thank sweet heaven there's Orthene Fire Ant Killer from Ortho. Just sprinkle 1 tablespoon of Orthene on the mound and watch the fun.
You don't even water it in. What could be easier?
The workers track it back to the queen and say,
honey, I'm home, and by the way, you're dead.
Kills the whole colony, even the queen.
Wow!
So leave it to Orthene Fire Ant Killer from Ortho, the smart, easy way to say,
fire ants must die.
Ortho, defend what's yours.
Orthene Fire Ant Killer is one of the essentials for your southern lawn. For more must-have products, visit ortho.com/essentials.
This portion of 540 WFLA is brought to you by Divine Health and Wellness and drcolbert.com.
Hey, you want to get over the hump on Wednesday? How about lunch today at my favorite restaurant, Houlihan's? If you got a business luncheon, you can't do better than to have it at Houlihan's. 4 convenient locations, great place to meet, great atmosphere, great service, all the food made from scratch, and the biggest, most diverse menu, and a price point to make everybody happy. Lunch today at your nearest Houlihan's. You're absolutely gonna love it. Now, at Houlihan's, as I say, we're talking about salads of all kinds, very creative dishes, burgers, sandwiches, and on it goes. And an amazing new menu at Houlihan's of 30 small plates from just $3. Are you kidding me? Only at Houlihan's. Flatbread, sliders, kebabs. It's phenomenal. You're going to love it. And book your Easter Sunday brunch now at your nearest Houlihan's. 4 locations, 192 in Kissimmee, University Boulevard, near UCF, East Colonial and I Drive. Learn more online at Houlihan's.com. Lunch or dinner today at Houlihan's.
Rush Limbaugh. So the AP conducted a poll of young Americans between 18 and 24. The poll found a great many of them think the American dream, defined as life getting better for each new generation, is mythical, at least in their own lives. Over 40% think that it's going to be harder to raise a family and have the lifestyle they want. 75% believe that they'll have a tougher time than their parents. They think the current economy is in poor shape. A very high number are worried about their parents' financial condition, too. Now, that worry is driven by fear as well as love. Half these youngsters remain dependent on their parents. They can't stand on their own 2 feet. Hell, some of them still live at home. Now, the future looks decidedly gloomy for a lot of American youth. AP did not make this important link in reporting the poll, but these are the same kids who were out in force in 2008. They were waving their Obama signs, making their pro-Obama videos for social networks, and celebrating the end of the Bush era. And these were the kids who bought into the whole hope and change mantra. They drank the Obama Messiah Kool-Aid in one giant gulp. Now, here it is 3 years later. Many of them have diminished economic prospects. They're dependent on their parents. They think the American dream's a myth. They got the change, but not much hope. But all is not lost, my friends. The American dream is bigger than Obama. His failed presidency could be the biggest teachable moment in generations. Let's make it happen, shall we?
Well, the economy is at it again. It's up, it's down, it's sideways. Frankly, it's confusing. At Advance Auto Parts, we're going to make things simple for you. Right now at Advance, we're offering you 5 quarts of Castrol GTX conventional motor oil plus a Fram Extra Guard oil filter for only $17.99. See store for details. We got the high-quality supply, you get the money-saving demand. That's economics everyone can appreciate. Advance Auto Parts. Service is our best part.
This is an alert. If your business or church is building this year, you're about to pay more than you should. This could mean thousands of dollars more for your office, retail space, church, or warehouse. A General Steel building can save you as much as half the cost and time of similar conventional construction. And we're offering rebates of up to $20,000 to help you build today. Call General Steel for free information that could save you thousands. Call 800-98-STEEL. 800-98-STEEL. That's 800-987-8335.
From the David Moss Volkswagen Lee Road Traffic Center, seeing some very slow traffic eastbound along I-4 from Cayley Avenue as you make your way through the downtown area, eating up before Colonial Drive. We're also slow going eastbound just east of Lee Road into Maitland Boulevard, especially in the right lane. On the ramp to Maitland, there is an accident. It looks like traffic is getting by around this crash, though. Westbound I-4, you're very slow from 434 into Maitland Boulevard, and some sluggish traffic westbound along the 408 from the Greenway into Goldenrod. From the Traffic Center, I'm Courtney Bright.
All right, time for the Brain Buster. Are you ready to go? It's going to be sunny with a high of 93 today, and I got a scorching hot Brain Buster question with a great prize for the winner, 407-916-5400. It is debt-related. Toll-free, 1-866-916-5400. Apropos of my conversation with Gary Kultbaum on the debt situation and the downgrading of our economic prospects by Standard & Poor's. 407-916-5400. Jenna, what are we playing for today? What's the prize?
Today we have a pair of tickets to Cheers for Charity. It's presented by Mustard Seed May 7th at the Sheraton in Orlando.
Full bank of phones. If you hear a wrong answer, you'll hear the buzzer, and you'll have an open line to try to grab the prize on a late round. 407-916-5400. All right, you know this, but do you really know it? We are $14 trillion in debt, this country. Now, if you stacked up 14 trillion $1 bills, how high would the stack be? That's the Budman's Brain Buster question, but let me help you. Think miles. Think lots of miles. If you get the answer within 10,000 miles, I'll give you the prize. Stacking up 14 trillion $1 bills. How many miles high is that stack? Line 1?
150.
No, not even close. I said thousands of miles. Line 2?
About 150,000 miles.
Not enough. It's higher than that. Let's go to line 3. Open lines, 407-916-5400. You got as good a shot as anybody else. Give it a try for the prize. Line 3.
350,000. 300.
Keep on going. Not high enough. And that's even farther than the moon, and that's not high enough. Line 4. How high would that stack of bills be?
100 million miles.
No, that's too high. All right, on the toll-free right now. Think you know?
500,000.
You're getting closer, but you're still low. Let's go to line 1, the Brain Buster.
550.
No, keep on going. A lot higher than that. Let's go to line 2.
960,000.
Absolutely right. It's within 10,000, and you, sir, have done it. You've won. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
David from Winter Garden.
David, guess what? If you stacked up 14 trillion $1 bills, that stack would be 952,000 miles high. That's about, to the moon and back and to the moon and back. Add it all up. And I said 10,000 miles of latitude. You said 960. I would have taken it as high as 962, as low as 942. David, you've won the Brain Buster, but that's a pretty scary number, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is.
It's just incredible. Well, congratulations. You've got the tickets to this great Mustard Seed event that I'll be hosting, and I am looking forward to seeing you there. Stay on the line. Jeff will get your information. You're our winner.
Another happy contest winner on WFLA.
Well, Jenna, we only had one prize today, but we want to give away more things because we got folks who deserve them out there. How about dinner for two, Easter Sunday brunch, rather, at the most fabulous place in town? I mean, we're talking about the fabulous Hyatt Regency Grand Cypress, my favorite hotel. This place is just incredible in every way, and their brunch has been voted once again, as it has so frequently, the very best brunch anywhere in Orlando by Orlando Magazine, and it gets the Budman's vote, too. How would you like Easter Sunday brunch at the incredible Hyatt Regency Grand Cypress? Get in the contest. Go to the website right now, 540WFLA.com, keyword contest. 758.
If you own or manage a business that relies on a high-speed internet connection, and if you're tired of trying to make consumer internet work for your business, consider moving up to business class internet from AirPowered. AirPowered can move you up to business class for a lot less than you imagined. In fact, a fraction of what the phone company charges for T1 lines. AirPowered gives you all the speed you need without the hesitations, delays, and erratic behavior of typical consumer internet connections. And when you move up to business class, you can go as fast as you want. Virtually no limits. No wonder why more and more businesses are calling AirPowered for dependable, military-proven, super high speeds. Business class for not much more than consumer class. Call AirPowered now at 866-933-0285. 866-933-0285. You can also click onto airpowered.com and get all the facts. Move up to business class internet at airpowered.com.
Hey, boss, have you seen that TV commercial with the National Alarm Company? You know, the one where the home gets broken into with the mom and daughter at home?
Oh, yeah, that guy's a creep.
Yeah. Hey, but did you notice that instead of calling the police, the alarm company calls the lady instead?
Oh, yeah, her and her daughter could have been killed while she was talking to the operator.
Yeah, I know. Now, if they had Safe Touch, the two-way communicator would have let the operator hear what was going on, and they'd have called the police right away.
You know, I was in a fine mood until you mentioned Safe Touch.
Yeah, well, you're not going to like this, boss. The latest edition of the Crooks R Us newsletter said the average response time for Safe Touch monitoring is 14 seconds.
14? Oh, I hate Safe Touch!
That's right, our Safe Touch two-way communicator saves lives and prevents property loss every day. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, owner of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one, and I mean no one, protects your family better than Safe Touch. So call Safe Touch today. Systems and monitoring are still less than $1 a day.
Call 407-331-0335 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
WFLF Pine Hills, Orlando. WTKS FM HD2 Cocoa Beach. The Gator Nation Station. 540 WFLA. 540 WFLA. Local news from the Fox Orlando News Center.
From the David Moss Volkswagen Leaf Road Traffic Center, seeing some very slow traffic eastbound along I-4 from Cayley Avenue as you make your way through the downtown area, eating up before Colonial Drive. We're also slow going eastbound just east of Lee Road into Maitland Boulevard, especially in the right lane. On the ramp to Maitland, there is an accident. It looks like traffic is getting by around this crash, though. Westbound I-4, you're very slow from 434 into Maitland Boulevard, and some sluggish traffic westbound along the 408 from the Greenway into Goldenrod. From the Traffic Center, I'm Courtney Bright.
Traffic on Air Online, a service of Waterford Lakes Fun Fair.
Don't miss the Waterford Lakes Fun Fair, featuring the rides, food, fun, and games of the James E. Straits shows. Get unlimited rides every day for just $15. And admission and parking are free at the Waterford Lakes Town Center. April 15th through May 8th, Thursday through Sunday nights only.
Dog bite? Visit forthepeople.com. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
From 540 WFLA, Orlando's 24-hour weather channel, we pick up right where we left off yesterday. A warm and muggy start, 93 the forecast high for today, and we can't rule out a stray late-day thunderstorm. Late-day thunderstorms again tomorrow. Weather updated around the clock on 540 WFLA. I'm David Maddox at the Weather Channel.
Score with 540 WFLA Sports.
Game 2 of the first-round playoff series against Atlanta meant a lot to Dwight Howard, so much so that Superman played every second of last night's 88-82 win over the Hawks that tied the series at 1-1. Howard had 33 points and 19 rebounds and made 15 of 19 foul shots, playing 48 minutes.
I understand, how important it is for me to come out every night and play as hard as I can, not only for, my team, but our city that's standing behind us, just all the fans, everybody who support us, just think about that every time I step on the floor.
Jameer Nelson had 13 points and 8 rebounds as the Magic head to Atlanta now for games 3 and 4. Game 3 is Friday night. Dirk Nowitzki scored 14 of his game-high 33 points in the fourth quarter. Dallas beat Portland 101-89 for a 2-0 lead in that series. Rajon Rondo scored a career playoff-high 30 points. The Celtics overcame 42 from Carmelo Anthony, beat the Knicks 96-93. Boston leads 2-0. James Shields pitched a 4-hit complete game as Tampa Bay defeated the Chicago White Sox 2-1 for their 7th win in 8 games. And if there is no work stoppage in the NFL this season, the Tampa Bay Bucks will play a Monday night game against the Colts and a Sunday night game against Dallas. That's your sports update. I'm Tom Morgan on your Gator Nation station, 540 WFLA.
Introducing the American way of life. Now, more Bud Henninger Live on 540 WFLA.
8:05, great to have you with us here on the 50,000-watt front porch. A whole bunch more hot topics coming up. Nothing is hotter, nothing is more vitally important to this country